Everything in your life right now is a reflection of the choices you make, or the choices you refuse to make. Every impulse you give in to, every moment of weakness, is silently stealing your future. But here's the truth. Master yourself today, control your emotions, dominate your habits, and nothing in life can stop you. This is not a motivational pep talk. This is your blueprint for unstoppable long-term success. By the end of this audiobook, you will know exactly how to take control, today, right now, without excuses. Chapter 1. Stop reacting, start commanding. You respond to life, or you command it. That's the truth. Most people live on autopilot. They react to every text, every comment, every interruption. They let emotions decide. They let impulse control them. And every day their future shrinks just a little bit more. But you are different. You have a choice. That's the key. You can decide to stop reacting. You can decide to start commanding. You don't need anyone's permission. You don't need the world to understand you. You don't even need to feel ready. All you need is control of your actions, control of your emotions, control of your mind. Let's start with the simplest truth. When you react, you give your power away. Reacting is passive. It is surrender. You see a comment online that angers you and you lash out. You hear criticism at work and you respond in defensiveness. You encounter a stressful situation and you panic. Reacting feels automatic, feels normal, but it is the enemy of progress. Every time you react, you trade your long-term vision for short-term relief. React less, control more. React less, control more. Say it with me, react less, control more. Now, commanding is different. Commanding is deliberate. Commanding is intentional. Commanding is thinking before speaking, planning before acting, feeling before responding. Commanding is not ignoring your emotions. It is using them. Commanding is harnessing every feeling, every impulse, every instinct, and making it work for you. You have a choice. Every single day, in every moment, you can decide to command instead of react. That's the key. Look at the world's top leaders. The CEOs, the athletes, the politicians, the innovators, they didn't get there by reacting. They got there by commanding. Take Elon Musk, for example. Under immense pressure, criticism from the media, employees leaving, rockets failing, he didn't explode. He didn't complain publicly. He planned. He acted. He commanded. Reacting would have cost him everything. Commanding made him unstoppable. Or look at Warren Buffett. Markets crash, investors panic, newspapers scream disaster, and he stays calm. He doesn't react. He doesn't sell. He analyzes. He acts deliberately. He commands. Reacting is easy. Anyone can do it. Commanding is rare. That's why few people reach the top. React less, control more. React less, control more. Remember, it's not about the chaos around you. It's about the discipline inside you. Now let's bring this closer to home. You have the power to command your life starting right now. Maybe someone cut you off in traffic this morning. You felt anger, frustration, irritation. Reacting would have been yelling, gesturing, letting that anger linger all day. Commanding means noticing the emotion, letting it pass, and moving forward. You have a choice. That's the key. You don't need their apology. You don't need their permission. You don't need to make it about them. You make it about you. Commanding is freedom. Reacting is a trap. Let's talk about work. Deadlines, emails, colleagues, clients, all potential triggers for reaction. Someone insults your idea in a meeting. The knee-jerk reaction, anger, defensiveness, immediate pushback. That's reacting. The commanding response, pause, breathe, respond with clarity, maintain authority. That's commanding. Over time, commanding builds reputation, respect, and results. Reacting builds regret. React less, control more. React less, control more. And here's another truth. Reacting often feels good for a moment. You release emotion. You vent. You feel heard. But it's temporary. It is fleeting. Commanding feels hard at first. You have to resist impulse. You have to pause. But over time, commanding gives permanent power. It compounds. Every controlled choice strengthens your future. Every reaction erodes it. Remember, you have a choice. You have a choice. You have a choice. Let's break it down into actionable steps. Real things you can do starting today. Pause before responding. Take 3 deep breaths before reacting to any situation. That pause is enough to shift from reaction to command. Reacting is automatic. Pausing makes it deliberate. You have a choice. That's the key. Label your emotions. Name it: anger, frustration, jealousy, fear. When you label it, it loses control over you. It becomes data, not a dictator. Commanding is seeing emotion, not being consumed by it. React less, control more. Ask yourself, what's my next best move? Don't act on instinct. Act on strategy. Leaders operate with intent. You can too. You have a choice. Every reaction has a cost. Every command has a reward. Choose wisely. Reflect at the end of the day. Journal or think, where did I react? Where did I command? Learn, reinforce, improve. Every small victory compounds. Every reaction is a lesson. React less, control more. React less, control more. Here's a real-world story to drive it home. There was a CEO publicly mocked in a viral post. Many executives would have fired off a tweet, responded defensively, or lashed out. Not him. He paused. He evaluated. He acted deliberately later when the timing and tone maximized impact. That single act of command reshaped his reputation, strengthened his company, and expanded influence. Reacting would have destroyed all 3. Commanding won. You can do the same. You have a choice. That's the key. Remember, it's not about external events. It's not about chaos or insults or failure. It's about your internal control. Reacting gives power to everything else. Commanding takes power back. You don't need their permission to act with control. You don't need their understanding. You don't need their approval. You decide. You act. You command. React less, control more. React less, control more. So as we close this chapter, take this with you. Every day, every moment, every interaction is a choice. Will you react or will you command? Commanding doesn't just make life easier. Commanding makes life victorious. Commanding transforms you into someone unstoppable. You have the power. You have the choice. That's the key. You mastered your reactions. Now, let's talk about the hidden cost of every impulse you let control you. Chapter 2, The Silent Cost of Impulses. Every impulse you give in to steals from your future. Every small indulgence, every moment of instant gratification, comes with a hidden cost. You may feel satisfaction in the moment. You may feel relief. But make no mistake, your future self is paying the bill. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Say it aloud. Every impulse is a thief. Think about your daily life. You scroll through social media instead of working on your goals. You eat the sugary snack instead of staying disciplined. You buy the flashy gadget instead of saving for something meaningful. Each of these moments feels harmless. Each of these moments feels justified. But over weeks, months, years, they compound. They become a pattern. They rob you of time, energy, focus, and momentum. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Let's put it into perspective with real-world examples. Consider someone in finance. They spend impulsively, buying a new phone, going out to expensive dinners, indulging in unnecessary luxuries. In the moment, it feels good. In the moment, they feel rewarded. But over 10 years, they have little to show for it. Meanwhile, their peers who delayed gratification, invested wisely, and controlled their spending accumulate wealth. The difference? Self-discipline. Reacting to impulse versus commanding your decisions. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Fitness is another perfect example. You want the body you dream of, but you indulge in one dessert, skip one workout, or sleep through one morning run. It seems small. It seems trivial. But these small compromises accumulate. That one cheat meal becomes 2. That one skipped session becomes a week, a month, a year. Results are not built in a day. They are built in the repeated choices you make when no one is watching. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Here's a truth most people ignore. Discipline is invisible, but consequences are loud. You might feel fine today enjoying the small pleasures. But in 5, 10, 20 years, the compound effect of your impulses is undeniable. It shows up in health, wealth, relationships, and personal growth. Your future self, stronger, smarter, wealthier, is held back by the choices you make when temptation whispers. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's break down why impulses are so dangerous. First, impulses bypass your rational mind. They appeal to emotion, habit, and desire. That's why they feel urgent, unavoidable. But remember this, urgency is an illusion. It is temporary. Your long-term goals are permanent. You don't need to act on every craving, every irritation, every fleeting desire. Command your impulses or they will command you. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Second, impulses undermine consistency. True success is not in isolated actions. It is in repeated, disciplined behavior. One impulsive choice may not ruin everything, but repeated choices compound. They become patterns. Patterns become identity. Reacting to impulse is choosing to be someone who is controlled by fleeting desires. Commanding yourself is choosing to be someone who is disciplined, reliable, and unstoppable. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Third, impulses steal your time and focus. Time is the only resource you cannot recover. Every moment spent indulging in a distraction is a moment not spent building skills, creating opportunities, or improving yourself. Focus is like fuel. Every time you divert it to a trivial impulse, you weaken your trajectory. Your results are proportional to your focus. Your life is proportional to your discipline. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's talk about a famous example, Warren Buffett. He is known for saying, "The difference between successful people and really successful people is that really successful people say no to almost everything." Think about that. Saying no to impulses, distractions, and temptations. Controlling every choice, even the small ones. That's why he commands his life while others react and chase fleeting pleasures. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Here's how you can take action starting today. Identify your triggers. Notice what situations, people, or environments lead you to give in to impulses. Awareness is the first step. You have a choice. That's the key. Pause and reflect. When temptation arises, stop. Take a breath. Ask yourself, does this serve my long-term goals? If the answer is no, don't do it. Reacting is easy. Commanding is deliberate. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Replace impulses with rituals. If you're tempted to check social media, read a book instead. If you crave junk food, prepare a healthy snack in advance. Small substitutions compound into massive results. You have a choice. That's the key. Visualize the cost. Imagine your future self paying for every indulgence. Picture the lost time, the missed progress, the stalled growth. Make it real. Make it urgent. Reacting steals. Commanding invests. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. Let's make this personal. Think about the last time you spent money on something unnecessary. Think about the last time you avoided a workout or skipped a productive task because it felt easier to indulge. That was a moment when your impulse robbed you. Not permanently, but cumulatively. Every time it happens, your future self loses a piece of potential. Command it, control it, stop it. You have a choice. That's the key. Remember, this isn't about perfection. You will fail. You will give in sometimes. That's part of being human. But the goal is mastery over patterns, not moments. Every victory against impulse strengthens you. Every repeated indulgence weakens you. Build momentum. Protect your future. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. So as we close this chapter, understand this. Life is measured in the choices you make when no one is watching. Every impulse you indulge is a small theft from your destiny. Every act of control is an investment in the life you want. Reacting is easy, temporary, fleeting. Commanding is hard, deliberate, transformative. You have a choice. That's the key. Every impulse is a thief. Every impulse is a thief. You saw how impulses silently steal your future. You learned why control over small decisions compounds into massive life results. Now we move to the next step, mastering patience and learning the ultimate secret weapon of the successful. Chapter 3, Delay Now, Win Forever. Every moment you resist temptation is a moment you build power. Every time you delay gratification, you strengthen your future. Most people live for the immediate. They want the reward now. They want the pleasure now. They want comfort now. And every time they take the easy path, they lose. They lose momentum. They lose opportunity. But you are different. You have a choice. That's the key. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Say it aloud. Wait now, win later. Delayed gratification is the ultimate power move. It's what separates average people from extraordinary people. It's what separates fleeting success from lasting achievement. You want the career you dream of? You want the body you desire? You want the wealth, freedom, and influence most people never touch? You cannot chase short-term pleasure. You cannot trade today's discipline for tomorrow's reward. You must wait. You must endure. You must command yourself. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Think about the most successful people in history. Warren Buffett. He waited decades before reaping the full rewards of his investments. He didn't spend impulsively. He didn't chase trends. He patiently, deliberately, consistently built wealth. Serena Williams. She spent years in grueling practice, countless hours perfecting her serve, delaying the rewards of rest and leisure, all to dominate the world of tennis. Elon Musk. He worked relentlessly, delaying comfort, risking reputation, delaying payoff, all to create companies that redefine industries. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Here's a simple truth. Immediate satisfaction is addictive. It's tempting. It's comfortable. It feels safe. But comfort is a trap. It's not about comfort. It's about discipline. It's not about feeling good. It's about creating something great. You have a choice. You can give in or you can delay. That's the key. Every time you choose delay, you invest in your future. Every time you choose delay, you strengthen your self-command. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Let's bring this closer to your daily life. Maybe you want to check social media instead of finishing your work. Maybe you want to eat the dessert instead of sticking to your diet. Maybe you want to buy the unnecessary item instead of saving. Every time you indulge, you choose instant satisfaction over long-term gain. Every time you delay, you build power. You are teaching your brain to respect discipline, to respect focus, to respect yourself. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Here's another way to think about it. Life is a series of choices, one after another. Each choice is either a step toward immediate pleasure or toward lasting success. The people who achieve greatness are the ones who consistently choose the delayed path. They sacrifice small comforts now for massive rewards later. They resist the urge to react impulsively, the urge to chase novelty, the urge to indulge. They do not chase the easy high. They build the permanent high. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. And let's be clear, this is not about never enjoying life. It's not about punishment. It's about timing. It's about control. You enjoy but strategically. You indulge but intentionally. You do not let fleeting impulses dictate your future. You have a choice. That's the key. Discipline today is freedom tomorrow. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Here's a mental drill you can use starting today. Every time a temptation arises, repeat this phrase in your mind. Wait now, win later. Let it sink in. Let it echo. Let it guide your decisions. The more you repeat it, the more your brain rewires. The more your impulses bow to your will. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's look at a practical example. Imagine saving money. You see a new phone, a trendy gadget, or an unnecessary purchase. Immediate gratification says, buy it now. Enjoy it now. Discipline says, wait. Invest that money. Grow that money. 10 years from now, that choice will be the difference between financial freedom and financial struggle. Every impulse you resist strengthens your trajectory. Every indulgence erodes it. Wait now, win later. Wait now, win later. Fitness is another arena where delayed gratification rules. You crave the couch instead of the gym. You crave the junk food instead of the healthy meal. Every time you wait, you choose progress. Every time you delay, you move closer to the body, the energy, the health you want. Reacting to impulse is temporary pleasure. Commanding yourself is permanent power. Wait now when later. Wait now when later. Here's a mental trick for consistency. Visualize the long-term reward. Close your eyes and imagine your future self. Wealthier, healthier, stronger, more disciplined. Now imagine that self looking back, thanking you for every choice you made today to delay gratification. That future is built one decision at a time, one delayed impulse at a time. You have a choice. That's the key. Wait now when later. Wait now when later. Delayed gratification is not easy. It will hurt. It will test you. The impulses will scream, the cravings will shout, the world will tempt you at every turn. And yet, that is exactly why it works. Hard choices build strength. Waiting builds power. Patience compounds into mastery. Reacting builds nothing. Delaying builds everything. Wait now when later. Wait now when later. Remember, this is about mindset and habit. Every time you choose to wait, you reinforce a pattern. You teach your mind, I am in control. I am patient. I am disciplined. I am powerful. Every time you give in, you reinforce weakness. Every time you delay, you reinforce strength. You have a choice. That's the key. So as we close this chapter, take this with you. Your life is a series of delayed decisions. Your results are a reflection of how well you master patience. Every temptation resisted is a brick in the foundation of your future. Every impulse obeyed is a loss of potential. Choose to wait. Choose to command. Choose to win. Wait now when later. Wait now when later. Say it again, wait now when later. You mastered the art of patience. You understood the power of delayed gratification. Now it's time to take control of your emotions to make every move deliberate. Chapter 4. Master your moods, master your moves. Your moods control more of your life than you realize. Every decision, every action, every relationship, every financial choice, it all flows from how you feel in the moment. Anger, frustration, fear, excitement, happiness, sadness. They can dictate your behavior if you let them. Most people are slaves to their emotions, but you are not most people. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Say it aloud. Control your moods, control your moves. Let's start with a simple truth. Emotions are powerful, but they are not reality. They are signals, not commands. Your anger does not have to dictate your response. Your fear does not have to halt your progress. Your anxiety does not have to stop your action. Reacting emotionally is easy. Acting deliberately is rare. Acting deliberately creates unstoppable results. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Think about the workplace. A colleague insults your idea in a meeting. The reactive person lashes out, defends themselves, or argues unnecessarily. The commanding person pauses. They assess the situation. They choose the most strategic response. Which one advances their career? Which one strengthens their reputation? Which one creates leverage? The answer is clear. Reacting is temporary. Commanding is permanent. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Here's why emotional mastery is critical. It affects everything. Your money decisions, your career choices, your relationships, your health, they are all shaped by mood. Make decisions when angry or impulsive, and you will pay the cost later. Make decisions when calm, deliberate, and rational, and you build your future. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Here's a mental drill you can start today. Every time you feel a surge of emotion, anger, frustration, anxiety, pause. Take a deep breath. Assess the situation. Ask yourself, what is the next best move? What is the most productive action? What serves my long-term goals? Pausing rewires your brain. Pausing creates space between stimulus and response. Pausing transforms reactive energy into commanding energy. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Let's bring in some examples. Consider a top athlete like LeBron James. On the court, emotions run high. Crowds, pressure, rivalries, mistakes, all triggers for frustration or panic. But the greats don't react impulsively. They master their moods. They pause. They focus. They execute. That focus under pressure is what separates the elite from the average. Your moods do not control you. You control your moods. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Emotional mastery also affects relationships. How often do conflicts escalate because someone reacted emotionally instead of responding rationally? One careless word, one reactive outburst, one decision made in anger, it can damage trust, reputation, and connection. But when you master your mood, you choose your moves. You choose the words. You choose the actions. You choose outcomes that align with your long-term vision. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Here's a practical technique, the pause and ask method. Every time an emotional trigger arises, stop. Ask yourself 3 questions. Is this true or a feeling? Emotions often distort reality. What outcome do I want? Choose the response that serves your goals, not your temporary emotion. What is the most strategic move? Make your decision deliberate, not impulsive. This method trains your brain to act from rationality, not reaction. Over time, emotional mastery becomes automatic. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Let's talk about finance. Impulsive investors lose money because fear and greed dictate their decisions. A market dip triggers panic. A small gain triggers overconfidence. The reactive investor sells low, buys high, and regrets it. The disciplined investor pauses. They assess. They act rationally. They command the outcome. Emotional mastery turns volatility into opportunity. Reacting destroys. Commanding builds. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Fitness is another area where emotional mastery matters. You're tired. You're sore. You don't feel like working out. Your mood says rest. Your discipline says action. The difference between giving in and showing up is emotional mastery. The difference between plateau and progress is command over your feelings. Reacting to your mood keeps you average. Commanding your mood makes you exceptional. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. And here's the most important point. Emotional mastery is not suppression. It's awareness. It's control. It's transformation. You acknowledge the feeling. You honor it. You decide whether it gets to dictate your actions. You convert emotion into fuel. You convert impulse into strategy. That's the mark of someone unstoppable. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. Finally, reflection is crucial. Every evening ask yourself, where did I react? Where did I command? What choices served my long-term vision? What choices gave my power away? Journaling or even thinking through these moments strengthens your emotional intelligence. Repetition builds habit. Habit builds mastery. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. As we close this chapter, remember, mastery of emotion is mastery of life. You cannot control every event around you, but you can control your reaction. You cannot control every person, but you can control your response. You cannot control every challenge, but you can control your strategy. Emotional mastery transforms potential chaos into calculated success. You have a choice. That's the key. Control your moods, control your moves. Control your moods, control your moves. You mastered your emotions. You now know how to pause, assess, and act deliberately under pressure. Next, we will build unstoppable growth through repeated, tiny actions that lead to massive results. Chapter 5. Small Habits, Giant Results. Success is not built in a day. It is built in tiny, deliberate actions, repeated consistently over time. The small choices you make every day compound into massive outcomes. Skipping one workout, ignoring one habit, or giving in to distraction may feel insignificant. It is not insignificant. Every action counts. Every decision matters. Every small step either builds momentum or erodes it. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Say it aloud. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Let's break it down. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for a spark. They wait for a big dramatic change. That is a trap. Real success does not come from inspiration. It comes from discipline. Microactions, tiny habits, small steps. They are invisible at first, almost imperceptible. But over weeks, months, and years, they compound into extraordinary results. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Take Elon Musk, for example. His life is a lesson in time blocking and micro-efficiency. Every hour, every minute, every task is accounted for. He stacks tiny actions, emails answered, designs revised, meetings scheduled, on top of each other. One small action leads to another. One small win compounds into innovation. One disciplined step multiplies into entire industries. That is the power of microactions. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Or consider athletes using the Kaizen method, a philosophy of continuous improvement. One push-up more. One extra lap. One more rep. Tiny adjustments, repeated consistently, create monumental improvement over time. The difference between average and elite is rarely talent. It is habit. It is repetition. It is consistency. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Think about your life. Where are you giving in to inconsistency? Where are you waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect motivation, or the perfect plan? The perfect moment does not exist. Action repeated daily is the secret. Microactions, compounded, become unstoppable force. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. You have a choice. That's the key. Let's make this practical. Start with 3 small habits you can commit to today. Not big goals. Not massive plans. Tiny actions that are easy to repeat. Could be writing 1 page a day, walking 10 minutes daily, reading 10 pages of a book each morning. Do them consistently. Watch how the compounding effect transforms your results over time. 1 page becomes 50. 10 minutes becomes hours of fitness. 10 pages become hundreds of lessons absorbed. This is the power of microactions. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Here's another example: financial habits. Saving $5 a day may feel trivial. $5 a week? Insignificant. But over a year, consistent saving builds into a significant nest egg. Every automatic deposit compounds with interest. Tiny, disciplined actions become freedom over time. It is the same with skill acquisition, health, relationships. Everything. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Consistency is key. You don't need huge bursts of effort. You need reliable, repeated action. Most people fail because they try to leap forward in one go. They overestimate what they can do in a day and underestimate what they can do in a year. Tiny actions repeated daily are unstoppable. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Let's bring it into the mental game. Your mind will resist small actions because it wants comfort, convenience, and instant gratification. But every time you push through, every time you honor your habit, you build self-command. You teach yourself that small steps matter. You teach yourself that discipline compounds. You teach yourself that long-term success is built moment by moment. You have a choice. That's the key. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Another story: Olympic athletes. They do the same movements thousands of times, not because it's exciting but because it builds mastery. One extra practice, one disciplined session repeated over years becomes world-class skill. Every small action is a building block. Every repetition compounds. Momentum grows. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Here's a practical framework for your life. Identify micro-actions. Break your goals into tiny, repeatable steps. What can you do every day to move closer to your vision? Schedule them. Put them on your calendar. Treat them as non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Track them. Monitor your consistency. Progress is a visible motivator. Reinforce them. Celebrate small victories. They fuel momentum. Momentum matters more than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. Momentum is unstoppable. Small, consistent actions create habits. Habits create identity. Identity creates results. You are what you do consistently, not occasionally. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Let's close this chapter with a challenge. For the next 30 days, pick one habit. One tiny action. Commit to it daily, no excuses. Track it. Repeat it. Build momentum. Feel the power of compounding. Watch as micro-actions create macro results. This is how ordinary people become extraordinary. This is how small efforts turn into massive outcomes. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. You mastered the principle of compounding micro-actions. You understand that every small win moves you closer to massive success. Now it's time to sharpen your focus and eliminate distractions so that every move is deliberate and powerful. Chapter 6. Cut the noise, focus the mind. Attention is your most valuable currency. Every moment your focus drifts, every distraction you indulge, is a withdrawal from your potential. Most people allow their attention to be stolen by notifications, social media, gossip, random thoughts, and trivial tasks. They drift through life, reacting to noise instead of commanding results. But you are not most people. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Say it aloud. Focus sharp, results soar. Let's start with a truth few people accept. Distraction kills more dreams than failure. Failure is visible. Failure teaches lessons. Distraction quietly erodes your life. It steals time, energy, and opportunity. 1 hour scrolling social media, 1 hour lost to gossip, 1 hour wasted on trivialities, multiplied over weeks, months, and years, is a catastrophic drain. Focus is power. Noise is weakness. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Think about your day. How often are you pulled in 10 directions at once? Emails pinging, messages flashing, tasks piling, thoughts racing. Most people try to multitask. They believe they are being productive. They are not. Multitasking splits attention, lowers output, and increases mistakes. The truth is simple. Focus, done well, multiplies results. One concentrated effort beats 10 scattered attempts. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Digital clutter is the first battlefield. Your phone is a constant temptation. Social media, notifications, endless scrolling, it hijacks attention. But control is possible. Start small. Turn off non-essential notifications. Schedule specific times to check messages. Limit apps that waste your time. Protect your attention like it is gold, because it is. Every distraction avoided is progress gained. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Next, cut social clutter. Not everyone deserves your time, energy, or emotional bandwidth. Some relationships drain you. Some conversations distract you. Some environments encourage mediocrity. Decide who and what truly matter. Eliminate or limit the rest. Your focus is sacred. Your results depend on it. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Mental clutter is equally dangerous. Random worries, doubts, overthinking, they all steal attention. Most people react to every intrusive thought. That's reaction, not command. Command your mind. Capture thoughts, evaluate them, then release or act strategically. Meditation, journaling, and mental pauses strengthen this ability. Over time, you gain control over the chaos inside your head. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Let's look at a practical example. Elon Musk. His focus is legendary. He blocks his day in precise intervals, eliminates unnecessary meetings, and prioritizes high-leverage tasks. Everything else is delegated or ignored. This relentless attention to priorities is why he achieves more than most in a lifetime. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Here's another example: professional athletes. They isolate from distractions, prioritize training, and eliminate noise in their environment. The same hours someone else wastes scrolling, they spend perfecting skill, building endurance, and visualizing success. Results follow focus. Attention magnifies effort. Distraction dilutes it. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Now let's break this into practical, actionable steps for you. Digital detox. Schedule blocks where your phone and computer are only for essential work. Limit social media. Notifications are enemy number one. Every distraction avoided is momentum gained. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Prioritize tasks. Identify the 1 to 3 tasks each day that have the highest impact. Do these first. Ignore the rest until they matter. Focus energy where it multiplies. You have a choice. That's the key. Set boundaries. Protect your time. Say no to unnecessary meetings, calls, and commitments. Each no is an investment in your high-value work. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Mental clarity drills. Use journaling, meditation, or reflection to capture and release thoughts. Stop letting random ideas hijack your brain. Train it to command focus. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Distraction also breeds stress. The more you scatter your attention, the more overwhelmed you feel. Mental noise amplifies anxiety, decision fatigue, and burnout. Cutting the noise restores energy. It creates calm. Calm allows clarity. Clarity enables action. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Let's get personal. How many hours per day do you waste on trivialities? How many hours could you reclaim if you protected your attention? Imagine what you could achieve if your mind were free of clutter. Your projects, health, finances, and relationships could all accelerate. This is the hidden superpower: attention. It's more powerful than talent, more powerful than luck, more powerful than motivation. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Remember, focus is a muscle. It grows stronger the more you train it. Begin with small blocks of uninterrupted work. Increase gradually. Eliminate distractions systematically. Reward progress. Momentum will follow. Small focus builds giant results. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. Discipline over attention is non-negotiable. The world will pull at you endlessly. Noise will come in waves. Emails, social media, news, people, obligations. Reacting is easy. Commanding is hard. But commanding focus determines outcomes. Your life is the sum of your attention. Where focus goes, results follow. You have a choice. That's the key. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. As we close this chapter, understand this. Attention is a weapon. Distraction is your enemy. Command your focus. Eliminate the noise. Protect your energy. Every hour you focus is a brick in the foundation of extraordinary results. Every distraction avoided is momentum gained. Your future self depends on it. Focus sharp, results soar. Focus sharp, results soar. You mastered the principle of focus. You now know how to cut digital, social, and mental clutter. Next, we will learn how to build unstoppable results by creating systems that crush goals and remove guesswork. Chapter 7. Systems crush goals every time. Most people chase goals. They write them down, talk about them, dream about them. I want to lose 20 pounds. I want to earn $100,000. I want to get promoted. And then, life happens. Motivation fades. Energy wavers. Challenges appear. Most goals are temporary. They rely on feeling motivated, not acting consistently. That's why most goals fail. But you? You can be different. You have a choice. That's the key. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Say it aloud. Forget goals, build systems. Here's the truth. Goals are outcomes. Systems are the processes that create those outcomes. Goals are wishes. Systems are discipline in action. Goals are distant dreams. Systems are the daily actions that guarantee progress. Focus on the system and the results will take care of themselves. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Take James Clear, author of Atomic Habits. His work shows that tiny, repeatable actions, not lofty goals, create extraordinary outcomes. Want to write a book? Don't obsess over, I will write a bestseller. Focus on writing every day, even a few hundred words. Want to get fit? Don't say, I want abs by summer. Focus on consistent workouts and healthy meals. The system does the work. The goal becomes inevitable. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Look at companies that dominate their industries. The ones that succeed don't rely on slogans or lofty targets. They rely on processes, on systems. Amazon doesn't aim for vague customer satisfaction goals. They implement processes that ensure delivery speed, accuracy, and reliability. Tesla doesn't just want innovative cars. They execute precise manufacturing systems, testing systems, and design processes that guarantee innovation. Results are the natural byproduct. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Here's the key distinction. Goals are finite. Systems are infinite. Goals can leave you satisfied temporarily. Systems leave you unstoppable permanently. Goals are tied to emotion. Systems are tied to action. Goals rely on motivation. Systems rely on habit. You have a choice. That's the key. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Let's bring this down to personal life. Imagine your fitness journey. Most people set a goal, I want to lose 20 pounds. That's a target, not a plan. Motivation wanes. Results stagnate. Systems change everything. I will do 30 minutes of exercise daily. I will track my calories. I will sleep 7 to 8 hours every night. This system creates consistent, repeatable progress. The weight loss is automatic. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Or consider wealth. Most people set financial goals. I want to save $50,000 this year. Rarely do they succeed because they focus on the number, not the method. A system changes everything. Automatic savings every paycheck, investing consistently, controlling spending habits. The money grows predictably, reliably. The goal becomes a natural outcome. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Here's another truth. Systems reduce stress. Goals are rigid. Systems are flexible. Goals can create anxiety and fear of failure. Systems create momentum and confidence. You focus on what you can control, the process, not the outcome, not the distant dream. The process. Momentum builds. Results follow. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Now let's make this practical. Start with one area of your life. Identify the results you want. Then reverse engineer. What daily, repeatable actions will guarantee those results? Don't focus on the number. Focus on the action. Build a system that makes success inevitable. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Here's a step-by-step approach. Identify desired outcome. Example, stronger, fitter body. List daily actions that guarantee progress. Example, exercise 30 minutes, eat clean, track meals. Schedule these actions. Make them non-negotiable appointments with yourself. Track and iterate. Systems are alive. Adjust them when needed to maintain efficiency and results. Consistency beats intensity. 1 hour of high-leverage action every day beats a sporadic 8-hour sprint once a month. Systems ensure that consistency. Goals cannot. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Here's a story. A friend wanted to write a book. For years he set the goal, I will finish my manuscript this year. Every year he failed. Then he implemented a system. Write 500 words every morning, edit 500 words every evening, read for 30 minutes daily. Within a year, the manuscript was complete, edited, and submitted. Systems beat goals. Systems win. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Remember, systems are about command, not reaction. Goals leave you at the mercy of emotion. Systems put you in control. Daily action, repeated without fail, builds momentum that no goal-setting session ever will. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Another example, learning a skill. Don't say, I want to master the guitar. That is vague. Build a system. Practice 30 minutes daily, learn one new chord weekly, record and review weekly. The goal will arrive naturally. Systems turn chaos into progress. Systems turn effort into mastery. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Discipline is baked into systems. Motivation is optional. Goals rely on motivation, which fluctuates. Systems create results even when motivation is low. They eliminate excuses. They automate success. You have a choice. That's the key. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. So as we close this chapter, understand this. Stop chasing numbers. Stop obsessing over outcomes. Stop waiting for inspiration or luck. Focus on the process. Focus on the system. Build daily habits and structures that guarantee progress. Momentum follows. Results follow. Success becomes inevitable. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. Forget goals, build systems. You mastered the principle that systems beat goals every time. You now know how to design processes that guarantee progress, not hope for it. Next, we will step into discomfort and use it as a lever for unstoppable growth. Chapter 8. Embrace discomfort, escape mediocrity. Comfort is a lie. Feels safe, easy, and pleasant. But it kills potential. Growth never happens in comfort zones. Weakness hides in ease. Mediocrity thrives in comfort. If you want extraordinary results, if you want to dominate your life, you must embrace discomfort. You have a choice. That's the key. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Say it aloud. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Here's the truth. Every person you admire, every success story you respect, every legend you study, they all thrived in discomfort. They faced rejection, criticism, failure, and fear. They endured long hours, physical strain, mental fatigue, and uncertainty. Comfort would have killed their potential. But they leaned into the pain. They gained the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Let's start with entrepreneurs. Elon Musk risked everything repeatedly. Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink. Each venture was fraught with doubt, financial pressure, and public scrutiny. Most people would have quit. Most people would have chosen comfort over risk. But Musk leaned into the discomfort. He worked 100-hour weeks. He endured failure after failure. He embraced pressure and uncertainty. That discomfort forged unstoppable results. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Athletes offer another clear example. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He endured relentless training, grueling practice, and physical exhaustion. Most would have quit. Most would have stayed comfortable. But he leaned into the pain. Every sprint, every drill, every setback became fuel. He gained the power that made him the greatest. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. History is full of figures who thrived under discomfort. Abraham Lincoln faced defeat after defeat. He endured personal loss, national turmoil, and public criticism. He could have chosen ease, obscurity, or surrender. Instead, he leaned into the discomfort. He gained the power to lead a nation through its darkest hours. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Here's the key principle. Discomfort is a signal. It tells you where growth lies. If it feels hard, that's exactly where you should be. Your comfort zone is a cage. Pain is a lever. Struggle is a teacher. Leaning into the pain transforms weakness into strength, fear into courage, hesitation into action. You have a choice. That's the key. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Let's make this practical. Start small, but start deliberately. Physical discomfort. Push your body past its perceived limits. Extra reps, longer runs, heavier weights, colder showers. Train yourself to tolerate discomfort. It strengthens resilience. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Mental discomfort. Tackle tasks you've been avoiding, speak in front of groups, ask hard questions, confront fear directly. Mental strain builds mental toughness. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Emotional discomfort. Have tough conversations, face criticism, acknowledge your weaknesses, accept responsibility. Growth is forged in emotional heat. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Here's a story. An entrepreneur feared rejection, yet she pitched her startup every day for months. She endured embarrassment, ignored advice, and faced countless no's. Most people would have quit. She leaned into the pain. She gained the power. Eventually, investors came, the business scaled, and her discipline created unstoppable momentum. Every uncomfortable moment was an investment in her future. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Another example, athletes visualize discomfort to succeed. Long-distance runners embrace fatigue. Swimmers embrace cold water. Fighters embrace physical strain. They train in conditions that feel impossible. This intentional discomfort rewires the mind. When real challenges arrive, they thrive. Pain becomes familiar. Fear becomes manageable. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Discomfort teaches lessons no comfort ever can. It shows you your limits, your resilience, your capacity. Most people avoid these lessons. They chase ease. They chase pleasure. They chase shortcuts. And they fail to grow. You, however, can choose differently. You have a choice. That's the key. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Now let's talk about repetition and habit. You cannot embrace discomfort once and expect transformation. You must make it habitual. Train yourself daily to face the small pains. Every early wake-up. Every avoided indulgence. Every difficult conversation. These micro-discomforts build massive strength over time. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Remember, comfort is a trap. Growth hides behind tension, resistance, and challenge. Embrace these moments. Don't shrink. Don't retreat. Command them. Each struggle you face deliberately compounds into power, momentum, and mastery. You have a choice. That's the key. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Here's a final mental drill to embed this principle. Every time discomfort arises, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional, repeat. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Let it echo in your mind. Let it guide your decisions. Let it push you forward instead of holding you back. Your life is forged in the moments you resist ease. Your future is built in the moments you embrace challenge. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. As we close this chapter, understand this. Mediocrity is comfortable. Excellence is uncomfortable. The people you admire leaned into discomfort relentlessly. They endured struggle. They endured pain. They embraced pressure. And that is why they achieved greatness. You can too. You have a choice. That's the key. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Lean into the pain, gain the power. You now know how to embrace discomfort to escape mediocrity. Next, we will explore the unstoppable force of perseverance and resilience over time. Chapter 9. The Power of Relentless Consistency. Talent is overrated. Brilliance is fleeting. Inspiration is temporary. What lasts is consistency. What multiplies results is habit. You can have the flashiest ideas, the most natural gifts, and the most genius plans, but if you fail to act consistently, you will fail to achieve. Every day you act, every day you show up, every day you repeat the work, you build unstoppable momentum. You have a choice. That's the key. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Say it aloud. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Consistency is the secret weapon of the successful. Look at long-term performers in any field. Warren Buffett has invested consistently for decades, not sporadically. Serena Williams trained consistently for years, not in bursts. J.K. Rowling wrote consistently, not just when the mood struck. These are the people who outlast the flashy, the talented, the occasional genius. Consistency beats occasional brilliance. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Here's the truth. Results are a product of repeated action, not grand gestures. One inspired effort is meaningless. One heroic attempt is temporary. But repetition compounds. One small action, repeated daily, builds skill, confidence, momentum, and mastery. Every time you act consistently, you strengthen your trajectory. You are unstoppable over time. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Think about athletes. No one becomes world-class overnight. Training, drills, practice, repetition, they endure it every single day, year after year. It is the mundane, habitual work that separates champions from amateurs. The person who trains once a month will never compete with the person who trains daily. Habit creates mastery. Consistency wins championships. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Entrepreneurs and business leaders are no different. Companies that survive decades, even centuries, are the ones that execute reliably day after day. They don't rely on occasional brilliance. They rely on relentless, consistent processes. Every meeting, every strategy session, every task executed consistently compounds into success. Talent fades. Systems and habit endure. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Let's bring this into personal life. Do you want a strong body? Exercise consistently, every day. Do you want financial freedom? Save and invest consistently, every paycheck. Do you want mastery of a skill? Practice consistently, every day. Motivation will fade. Inspiration will disappear. Consistency will carry you through when feelings fail. You have a choice. That's the key. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Here's the hidden advantage. Consistency builds confidence. Every day you act, you prove to yourself that you are reliable. Every day you repeat the work, you strengthen self-trust. Every day you persist, you silence doubt. Momentum grows, effort feels easier, and results accelerate. Flashy talent might peak once, but consistency dominates forever. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Here's a story. A musician practicing piano. Day 1, clumsy fingers. Month 1, awkward but improving. Year 1, confident. 5 years, mastery. The daily repetition compounds invisibly. No one notices day 1. No one celebrates month 1. But by year 5, the world marvels. Consistency beats flashy attempts every time. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Consistency also compounds in unexpected ways. One small action today may seem insignificant, but repeated daily, it triggers chain reactions. Skills improve. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. Relationships strengthen. Wealth accumulates. Energy multiplies. One daily action becomes 10. 10 becomes 100. Momentum becomes unstoppable. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Here's a practical approach. Pick your core habits. Identify 3 to 5 actions that align with your long-term vision. These are non-negotiable. Schedule them daily. Treat them like appointments with your future self. Track and repeat. Every day you complete the habit, record it. Repetition builds momentum. Resist excuses. Some days will be hard. Some days will feel impossible. Do it anyway. Consistency wins when motivation dies. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Notice the difference between a one-off effort and relentless repetition. One inspirational workout, one brilliant sales call, one late-night study session. It matters only if repeated. The world rewards the habitual performer, not the occasional hero. You have a choice. That's the key. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Mental toughness grows from consistency. Every time you persist despite fatigue, distraction, doubt, or fear, you strengthen the part of you that refuses to quit. You build resilience. You build reliability. You build momentum. No shortcut exists. No shortcut works. Relentless repetition is the path. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Finally, remember this: life rewards those who show up consistently. Talent, motivation, inspiration, they all fade. Habits endure. Systems endure. Repetition compounds. The slow, deliberate, daily action is unstoppable. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You have a choice. That's the key. As we close this chapter, understand this: relentless consistency beats brilliance, talent, and luck every time. Show up daily. Repeat the work. Build momentum. Command your life through habitual action. The world is full of flashes and sparks. Be the steady flame. Be the force that outlasts them all. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. You now know how to leverage consistency to compound your results over time. Next, we will bring all these principles together to dominate your life through self-command. Chapter 10: Dominate yourself, dominate life. This is it. The ultimate principle. The final key. Everything we have discussed, the habits, the discipline, the focus, the systems, the discomfort, the consistency, culminates here. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Say it aloud: dominate yourself first and life will follow. What does it mean to dominate yourself? It means commanding your thoughts, your emotions, your impulses, your actions. It means no longer reacting blindly to circumstance. No longer giving your energy to distractions, excuses, or fleeting pleasure. It means choosing deliberately every moment of every day to act in alignment with your long-term vision. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Let's integrate what you've learned. Stop reacting, start commanding. Your actions are intentional, not reflexive. React less, control more. Every choice becomes deliberate. You have a choice. That's the key. Delay gratification. Every impulse resisted builds power. Wait now, win later. Every sacrifice today compounds into unstoppable momentum tomorrow. Master your moods. Your emotions do not control you. Pause. Assess. Act strategically. Control your moods, control your moves. Small habits, giant results. Tiny, consistent actions create massive outcomes. Small wins every day create unstoppable momentum. Cut the noise, focus the mind. Attention is your superpower. Eliminate distractions. Prioritize high-leverage work. Focus sharp, results soar. Systems crush goals every time. Forget fleeting targets. Build repeatable processes that guarantee progress. Forget goals, build systems. Embrace discomfort, escape mediocrity. Growth is forged in challenge. Lean into struggle. Lean into the pain, gain the power. Relentless consistency. Show up daily. Repeat the work. Compound momentum. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. All of these principles converge here. Self-mastery. When you dominate yourself, you dominate your environment. When you command your habits, focus, emotions, and actions, the world bends to your momentum. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Let's make this practical. Here's your blueprint for unstoppable personal dominance. Command your mind, stop reacting. Pause before every response. Choose clarity over impulse. Your thoughts dictate your reality. Train them. Dominate them. Command your body. Discipline your energy, fitness, and health. Small habits every day compound into unmatched strength. Every action is a deposit into your long-term power. Command your emotions. Stop letting moods hijack decisions. Practice emotional mastery daily. Respond strategically. You are the commander of your inner state. Command your focus. Cut the noise. Protect attention like gold. High-leverage work magnifies every effort. Every distraction avoided is momentum gained. Command your systems. Build repeatable processes in every area of life. Finance, career, fitness, learning, relationships. Systems ensure results even when motivation fails. Command discomfort. Seek challenges deliberately. Lean into pain. Growth exists beyond ease. Strength, resilience, and mastery are forged in resistance. Command consistency. Show up every day. Repeat the work. Compound results over time. Momentum becomes unstoppable. Do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Every one of these steps reinforces the other. They are not separate. They are a chain. Dominate one area and it strengthens all others. Master all and life bends to your will. You have a choice. That's the key. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Here's a mental drill to internalize this principle. Every morning declare, I am in command of my mind, body, and actions today. Every decision ask, does this serve my long-term dominance or my short-term comfort? Every evening reflect, did I act with discipline, focus, and deliberate action today? By repeating these steps daily, mastery becomes a habit. Self-command becomes second nature. Life becomes predictable in your favor. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Remember, no one owes you success. No one will hand you discipline, focus, or consistency. You must take it. You must claim it. You do not need their permission. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. And here's the final truth. Life rewards the commanders. Those who act deliberately. Those who control their impulses. Those who are relentless, consistent, and fearless. Ordinary people react, complain, and drift. Extraordinary people dominate. You can be extraordinary. You have a choice. That's the key. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. If you apply these principles consistently, your life will transform. The results will be unstoppable. The momentum will be inevitable. Your future self will look back and thank you for the discipline, the focus, the courage, and the relentless action you took today. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Finally, a small reminder. If you found this audiobook helpful and you want more transformative content delivered in the same tough love, actionable style, hit that subscribe button now. Turn on notifications so every new strategy, drill, and principle comes straight to you. Commit to your growth today. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. This is your life. This is your power. This is your responsibility. Command yourself and everything else aligns. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow. Dominate yourself first and life will follow.